Hi Stampers, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today's project, I feel like it's Monday, but it's Tuesday because you know it's one of those weeks where that holiday did that to us. So for the whole entire week, I will be a day short. But today's project, I'm going to use several new things from the new mini catalog that came out in January. It lasts till June. If you don't have a copy, let me know and I'd be happy to send you one. You should already have one. You should have gotten one mid-December if you have purchased from me in the last 6 months of 2020. I'm going to use the stamp set Kangaroo and Company. It is the online class that I have registrations open for right now. So this week you can register for this class. There's a couple of, you can get just the videos or you can get the kit. The kit does include the stamps and the dies. Those of you that have already registered, your stamp sets are here. So I will be working on this class this week. I'm gonna finish up the December classes. They are in process from when I was sick. They're kit classes, so they're a little bit quicker for me. So those will be going out. The Try It classes mailed on Saturday, but it was a holiday, obviously. So you'll probably be getting those on Wednesday. Those went priority mail, and the videos and the PDF will post for those on Wednesday. So everything, I'm starting to get caught up. But this is the newest class, and I'm really looking forward to it. This little stamp set has a little pop-up. So I've done this video here where I actually use the baby roo as the pop-up little message that she's intended, you know, because a kangaroo should have a pouch with a little pop-up baby. So that's posted. This one I used all three. This one doesn't have a video, but that one is another card that you can see on my website. Today, I'm just gonna use the baby, and then I'm gonna add a few more things just to show them off. So you may not have noticed because they're kind of hard to see. And they're not part of a suite, but I'm going to use these Stitched with Whimsy dies. So they're right here. The one I'm using, I've taken off. They're here, and they just give a really fun little stitched pattern. They don't pop the window out, but they just give some stitching. So you'll get to see me use those. I'm going to use the blending brushes, and then I'm going to use a Sale-a-bration set, Approaching Perfection. And this is great because it's got a nice generic happy birthday, and we can always use those, and it's a nice bold font, and it holds itself well to everything that I have going on this card, which is fun. And then it has some fun inside sayings. So I left mine blank, but this is a card that we will be making at my camp this week, and then I'll just let the girls, if they want to, pick any of these to go on the inside. This does come with little sayings. This could equally, you could change the saying. It can be a Valentine's card, it could be a baby card, it could just be a thinking of you card. So it's a really fun little card that you can just kind of do however you want. So I'm just going to use Bermuda Bay. Actually, I don't even think I pulled Bermuda Bay out. It's not shaded spruce. It may be Bermuda Bay. I got it out last night when it was dark in here. It might be Bermuda Bay. It doesn't look very Bermuda Bay-ish now in the daytime. This looks Bermuda Bay, but it looks cute on the finished card, so we'll go with it. So I've just got white cardstock and then those. So let's do our stamping first for the things that we're going to cut out, because it is a little die set. So if you do the class, you can opt to get the supplies that includes the stamp set and the die, or you can just do the video version. So we're going to do the baby roo. And then we're going to do the hearts twice. I've got this separate piece of paper here because since I have to do it twice, one time I'm going to run it through when I do the frame. I'm just going to cut those out. And then I'm going to do, there's a little single heart. And this is the, I think this is Coastal Cabana, the more I look at it, but it all works. You could do this in any color combination. So if you're giving it to somebody, you could do it in pinks and reds if you do want it to be a Valentine card. But if you're giving it to somebody like my niece, when she was little, she was obsessed with purples. Purple was her thing. Everything we gave her for every birthday had to be purple. Scrap paper. So you could easily switch this up and do it in whichever colors that you want, because the color is really kind of what we're doing with this card. So now I'm just going to color it with our blends. I'll start with my little baby Roo. So I have light petal pink. I'm just going to give her a little brush of that in her ear and a little brush there on her nose, just so she's not totally gray. And then I have two different grays. I have dark smoky slate and light gray granite, just because I wanted it to be a contrasting gray and I didn't want to spend forever coloring this. So go with your bullet tip with your dark. And if you have different grays, any of them will work. You could color her red or brown as well, because obviously kangaroos come in those colors. I just wanted her to more neutral color for this card, since I wanted my greens to be the focus. So I've just added that little bit. Now here's a little tip. I'm going to use my bullet tip to blend all this in. And I squeak when I blend. It's not because this is an old blend. These are, I practically replaced all of my blends recently, but the second I take them out of the thing, they squeak, because I go in a circular motion. And so people that have watched me from the beginning think they're not doing it right if theirs don't make noise. See, even in the little bits I can make it make noise. I don't mean to. I just press hard, because then you get more ink at once, only on the bullet side. And it doesn't take as long. And then I'm going to take the brush tip and here on her little baby tummy, I'm barely going to swipe. And so then that gives you the dimension of color that you need, and it didn't take very long. So now on my two bouquets of hearts, William, here so they're together, and I'll fast forward. I'm just going to do one. So I just pulled out all of the colors that kind of went with what I thought was Bermuda Bay, but now I'm sure that this is Coastal Cabana. That's what happens when you stamp. Actually, I have great lights over my table, and I have lights in my paper cabinet, but I didn't turn those on last night because I thought I knew what I was pulling out, but it works. So I just pulled out a bunch of these. And so I'm going to pull my light pool party and put it over here. And I'll just tell you real quick what I'm using. This is dark shaded spruce, but you could use whatever you want. So I just picked some hearts. And I just gave a line of color. Just like that. And then this one is, I'll put that over there. This is light peacock. So you don't have to have very many colors, or if you're doing this in purples, or if you're doing it in oranges, whatever colors you want to do it in. This one is dark Bermuda Bay. And I try not to get the same colors on the same ones, but you know, we're creatures of habit, so sometimes I would find I would color one bouquet and then I'd go over to the other one and do the exact same. So I kind of did the left side of all of these. This is light shaded spruce. And you can only do half these. You don't have to do nearly as many as what I did. See, I go right back to the same one. I don't know which one I just did because I'm talking. And then light Bermuda Bay, because I thought my card was Bermuda Bay. I'll get this one. It really did want me to make another card in all these. And then this is just, oh no, this is just jade. I did change my mind. It's just jade. I remember last night because I pulled the Bermuda Bay out and it was a little bit too much. I was stamping way late. My intention, okay, I don't know how many of you have husbands who've worked from home during 2020. Mine did for the first half of the year, which, you know, for about 2 weeks, it was grand fun. And then I've since learned it's not grand fun when he works at home. But this weekend, since it was a holiday weekend, he was home all weekend. And he, bless his heart, he did help me cut all the paper and get the packets out. So, you know, that part was great. This is Dark Pool Party. But I needed to finish recording wanted to do this card, and then I wanted to finish recording my class because I still had 2 cards left in the introduction video. But I have since learned I cannot film if he's home. And so he was home for 4 straight days. So yesterday we ended up, I just couldn't work. I had to finally just call in quits because I couldn't work. So I did want to get all this stuff laid out, but I came up and it was rather late. So now I'm going to take, and this part I will fast forward. This is my light pool party, and this is what I'm going to use to blend all of these colors. So just pull right here where the 2 colors meet, just pull those over. And I'll do this, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like finished. Okay, so you can see that they're all nice and blended. So by using this as my lighter color, all of them have the same tone, but they're all a little bit different colors. And you could just, like, if you want to do it in pinks, then just grab your light petal pink or the lightest pink that you have. If you're doing it in greens, get your light seafoam and just use whatever the lightest color you have as your blender. And then that will keep them all the same tone. Now for this one little heart, I wanted it to kind of be the highlight of the card. And I debated between Real Red and Poppy because I'm going to use the embellishments from the snail mail. Poppy's just, it pops a little bit more than the Real Red because it's a tad bit brighter. So I'm going to do the same thing, just add a little bit of the bright there. And it looks fine with the red embellishments. So I decided to go with the Poppy. Now let's put all this stuff through the cut and emboss machine to the size that we need them to be. I'm gonna do those in opposite order. Okay, so let's move this over here. I'll do these first. So we have the little kangaroo. It's so nice when these come with all of the tiny little dies, so you don't have to think about cutting these out. The bouquet of hearts. So these can go, all of these little images can pop out of their pockets. This little guy can hold some of them. So there's multitudes of ways that you can actually use this set. Let's stick this on here and then make sure my house is super staticky. I have my humidifier going in my office in hopes that I can combat some of the winter heat. That having your furnace on all the time happens. So we need that one again. Done with that. Done with that. I don't want to lose my little heart. I'll put it right there. And then for this one, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to show you a couple of tips. This one could move, and I don't want it to move, especially now that I've taken all the time, right, to color them in. So that you want whatever could move, like the thing that needs to be lined up perfectly, to go through your machine first. Because if it's back here, you know, sometimes when they bounce, they can move a fraction, especially if your house is dry and you have all the static going on like we do in the places where it's cold right now. So get that lined up. And then this, here's our Whimsy frame. If you send it through like this, it's going to go speed bump, and it's going to not be great for your die, and it's not going to be great for your machine. But you do want it on your card straight, right? So for me, it's always a little bit of an optical illusion to put it on your card the way you want it to go, and then just turn your whole thing so you get a point going through first and not the whole thing. And then it won't make the speed bump noise. And then hope the static doesn't grab anything. There, we got it. Once you have this, if static is an issue in your house right now, just hold tight to it once you have everything lined up. Because if you let go, then that's when the static hits. Now see, there's none of that clunking noise because we've sent it through not speed bump. So on neither side you get that clunking noise. Which if your dies are warping, it could be because you always send them straight through, and that's too much pressure on them. Look how fun this is. See, it just has a little fun border. So now, another new thing from the catalog, and one of my favorites, and this time I am using Bermuda Bay, not just jade, are our blending brushes. And I have just been using this one over and over with the blues. You can see all of the different colors that I've used. You can wash them out. I just tend to use them until the stuff comes off. So I just did this card yesterday. And you can see that I just blended it till it was gone. So as long as you stay in the same color family, like there's a little bit of blue, but I could go to one of the lighter blues and that's not gonna make a difference. So just put it on here and kind of swirl it around. They're so soft. I want some darker blue up at the top and lighter at the bottom. So every time I'm gonna start with the dark up here and then blend it down towards the bottom. So start up here and go in. I'm gonna try to keep it all inside this fun little frame. Dark up here and then work it off towards the bottom. If you haven't ever used them, I wouldn't recommend the very first thing you do be try to start inside a frame, because it's really easier to start off the paper and come in. But on this card, I didn't really care if I got these little swirlies up here because it's kind of going for sky. Then just blend that out. You can see where it kind of touched. And this is how all of your ink gets out of your brush. Just keep blending it. And then we'll do one more, and this time I'm going to kind of start from down here and pull up. And because we're going to be mounting all this stuff on the card, the circles will kind of get covered up. It's a little bit more difficult because I'm staying in this little area, but it's going to look super cute when it's done. Okay, now I'm going to go back to, oh, where did I put it? The Sale-a-bration set. And this is free. This is in January and February if you purchase $50. There's a bunch of stuff that is, but this is the one that I'm using for this one. So I pulled out the Happy Birthday. I'm going to ink it in black so it will hold its own when I stamp it in this little corner. Right here. I think it's a little bit crooked because it's hard for me to stamp when my head's not right over it. It's not too terrible. Oops, I still need that. And then I'm going to use this little balloon. And I only want the string because I want the string to act as the string for the little bouquet of balloons that I'm going to make out of my hearts. But it's okay because I'm going to cover this up, so I'm not going to quite worry about it. But I want to put her where she's going to be, so I can kind of see where I want that string to go. And then I can mount her so she kind of works. So ink this up. You have to be careful on this one because you can catch the edge. So we'll just go like this. And see, you can put her and you can kind of mess with her so she gets where she's holding that. And then one of these can go here. So the other one, we will do again and kind of just go there because we're just using the string. Just like that. And you can kind of work it when you put it on. And then I want, this time I only need a tiny little bit, so I am going to need to use a mask. So let's get our little piece of scrap paper here. And this time I'm going to just go for the string end. Like that. So I got all the rest of it on my scrap paper. So when I pick it up, I just have this. And if I need to adjust it, then I can add some more in a second. So let's put it all together. Let's go with my Just Jade cardstock. I was obviously too tired. I've been staying up trying to work later. Normally I work kind of late, but working late after I got sick and me did not go well together. So I've been staying up later. This is almost gone, but I did refill a new one. But that's part of the reason my PDF is not all the way finished for the Try It class, because I have to type measurements in. And normally I can do that out by the pool or sitting on the couch wrapped in blankets. But that's not working this time with what way I feel at night. So now I'm just going to do this. I'm going to kind of aim that bottom one so it looks like it's the balloon. This first one I'm going to do direct on the card. I want them to look, kind of look like they're coming out of the card, like raising up. So we'll do this one here. This one I'm going to put a dimensional on. So you can use a big one on it because it fits. And then our tiny little one, I'm going to use a tiny little dimensional. And put it right on the top little thing. Gives that nice little pop of color. And then I'm going to take the resin hearts from the Snail Mail Suite. And you can see the colors, and the red and the poppy are fine together. I just like that poppy. It just is a little bit more cheerful, I think. So I'm going to take a red one because I always like to use 3 embellishments. Put it right up here in the corner to look like maybe it's flown off the thing. And then just add 2 of these kind of as highlights down here. I like to put one in the darker sponging so you can see it. And now you can see that even though I had those funky kind of circles going on, when I did that, it all got covered up. And then let's stick one there. So super cute. If you'd like to do the class, then let me know. You can still get the PDF version of the Try It class if you sign up before I email them out. So as soon as I email them out, I will take the link down because I don't have time to be sending out individual classes, but you can get the PDF one. This class you can register for until the end of the week. And again, you can get the PDF one until I mail it out. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have a great, not Monday, but a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Bye.